This other poem I'm going to do is an old poem of mine. It's actually 21 years old.
Right.
I wrote it for my son. He's 29 now. I wrote it when he was a young boy. See, I live in California. My son was living with his mother in Georgia. And he came out to visit me every summer. But his friends in Georgia didn't know me. Just my son knew me, but his little boyhood friends in the neighborhood never saw his father. So one day his mother called me on the telephone and said, would you talk to your son's little friend and let him know that your son also has a father. You see what was happening, all the little boys on the block, father would come home every day, and my son was the only boy on the block whose father nobody ever saw. So the kids would tease him sometime about not having a father. So I spoke to his little friend on the phone and introduced myself and told him I was my son's father and I loved him and we just lived apart, but we saw each other in the summertime. So after I got off the phone, I thought about it and I wrote this poem. And my son liked it. He took it to school. The teacher read it. Ended up the principal read it over the PA system to the whole school. It's called Thou Art My Son. To every black father that loves his boy, you better talk to him and don't be coy. Tell him life is doing time without parole, so you better be mindful of how you stroll. I love you dearly, thou art my son, and I won't see you ruined like the other ones. Don't drop out of school like a wimp that can't take it. Study harder than before. I know you can make it. The eyes of the world are watching you, and the odds are heavy. You won't make it through. Infatuated girls will call you king of the pack. But take that lightly, or it will hold you back. Avoid the reputation of a promiscuous stud. It inflates an insecure ego, but turns to pure hard mud. And if you stumble into the cycle of crime, you might elude the law for a long, long time. But when you're caught, remember this, there ain't no honor in being a snitch. Thou art my son. These words must come from a mellowed black man. For a woman can't help a boy understand what to expect as a black male adult and how to maneuver through this maze with the best results. Listen, my son, I think that you should know. All that shines isn't gold and all that's white isn't snow. Be careful who you consider friend. The biggest smiles will do you in. Though you should always be forgiving, that's God's advice. But never let the same dog bite you twice. Amen. And when your heart is troubled and your mind seeks peace, and there will be times you are harassed by the local police, just reach within your soul and beseech the Lord. He'll see you through when times are hard. Thou art my son. Avoid all substances that sedate your mind, or your brain power will lag behind. And here's some useful information that you should deem, and it will bring you racial pride and high self-esteem, to know your great ancestors were royalty, and were embraced by honor and loyalty. In order to enjoy life of dignity, you must study your black history. Making babies don't prove that you a man. Save your money, boy, invest in land. Respect your mother and all womankind, but know a virtuous woman is hard to find. Don't be manipulated when females whine. That's a tactic some use from time to time. Now remember these words even when you're old. Wisdom is more secure than gold. Now I can rest in peace because you have been told. Life is doing time without parole. Thou art my son. Thank you. Story. Speaking about fathers and Father's Day. Now, my father was an absent father. I know a lot of people have absent fathers, but my father was an absent father. I didn't see him until after I was about 35 years old. He had been gone for about 25 years. Saw him at a family reunion. One of my uncles pointed him out to me. He said, Richard, that's your dad over there.
I went to him and talked to him. He gave me a hug, and I was trying to talk to him. I said, Dad, you left Mama in a hard way, and we grew up really struggling. So why did you leave us? You said you love us and all, but why did you leave us? He said, well, son, you don't really understand. It was an adult issue and a medical issue. How was a medical issue? He said, well, I had a bad back, and the doctor sent me to get some pills and told me to follow the instructions of those pills to the letter. And he said, when I got out the drugstore and looked at the back of the pills, the first thing I saw was said, keep away from children. So that explains why I haven't saw you in 30 years. I got married late the second time. The first time I was 25 years old when I got married. The second time I was 50. And you know the funny thing about it, my second wife was 50 also. And I was wondering that this was her first marriage, and it made me wonder. I asked her, I said, how can a beautiful woman like you, who's a good cook and intelligent, and have so many things going for her and talented, will wait 50 years to get married? You've never been married before. I wonder why that is, honey. She said, well, Richard, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a Christian lady, and I promised God when I get married, I was going to never get a divorce. I was only going to be married one time. But I didn't want it to last that long. So, tell you the truth, it didn't last long either.
I have a father, so I'm going to freestyle one. So bear with me. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that second. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm 22 years old. I come from Los Angeles, California, and I want to tell you guys kind of what the youth see. Well, me being an old soul in a little boy's body. So I want to tell you guys, you know, what I see in this generation.
God, it's a humble beginning, no word fear I despise. I'm trying to get this cash, but some of my soul I take a pass. The music nowadays overrated or plain trash. And I'm lyrically a murder, so I can kill this rap game. They always say that my emotions really change. Well, I got these good women approaching me with bad intentions, but I'm real, so I see through you if I fail to mention.
Girl, on my Facebook, they like it.
Those are my style, next statement, and they bite it. It's sad to say that the woman I love heart's already taken. Guess what? Lust, not love. I'm foolishly mistaken, but it's time for real hip hop. Like Kendrick Cole and Common. Nothing like you other cats, you guys are all common. Still believe in one girl and one guy. And tell the truth and don't lie. Great expectations and big dreams. Calm reality and no schemes. My name is Cliff B. Here to change this rap game with all pride and no shame. I see the Lord as my savior, king of all kings. For him while I'm on earth, I will do anything.
Just killed me. I said, can I buy you a drink? She said, yes, you can. Sugar baby, you looking like $100 grand. Now, my man tried to warn me, but I was like, I'm trying to score. He said, I got one word for you, Rob. Oh, man, Jordan. I said, nah, I'm trying to get that. He said, bruh, you don't want that Kit Kat. Take 5. I didn't listen. We started dating, but it didn't work out. You see, she was constantly in the streets and never in the house. Her and her friend, Peppermint Patty. Now, they were stripping at a place called the Mounds. And I should have known she wasn't the one just by the way that sounds. She even had the nerve to steal money out my wallet. And when I asked her reasons, she said I had to pay that bill, you know, whatchamacallit. You see, all I wanted was her. She kissed another dude, and my heart broke, and she began to snicker. What was wrong with her? Well, what was wrong with me? Because my love still lingered. I figured she had given me her all, well, but a finger. Yeah, I still miss Sharice. Pieces of my heart still within her reach. She even called the other day talking about how she missed me. And I remember how she dissed me. Because now I see real clear that she was on the other end of the phone trying hard to cry like, must get tears. You see, she's all about the payday, fancy cars and stylish rent.
In this young little frame of mind. Hey. Now what am I supposed to do when I want you in my world? How can I want you for myself when I'm already someone's girl? What am I supposed to do when I want you in my world? How can I want you for myself when I'm already someone's girl? The first time that I saw you, boy, it was a warm and sunny day. All I know is I wanted you. I really hoped you looked my way. Then you smiled to me so warm and sweet. I could not breathe. You make me feel like a little bitty girl. What you do to me? Now what am I supposed to do when I want you in my world? How can I want you for myself when I'm already someone's girl? What am I supposed to do when I want you in my world? Just for myself when I'm already someone's girl. I guess I'll see you next lifetime.
Yeah.
Baby, it sounds so divine. I'll see you next lifetime. Yes, I will. Yes, I will now. I'll see you next lifetime.
That's right.
Oh, baby, I hope to see you lifetime. Said I'll wait a little while, baby. It ain't nothing wrong with dreaming. Boy, don't get me wrong. Ooh, yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Like the beauty of a heartbeat, because hearts don't beat forever.
If you're driving through the country on a lazy afternoon, or you're watching your children playing after school, they seem to be so unaware of, I know, the things that they'll soon have to take care of. We've got to do something, yeah, to save the children. Soon it will be their turns to try and save the world. Right now they seem to play such a small part of the things that they'll soon be right at the heart of. My little Tommy, he said,